Sure. So not our rules, but the SEC has rules about who can be an accredited investor. So
I mean, in America today, there's no securities regulation that prevents somebody from putting $10,000 on black in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Or the lotto.
And I'm saying you can put $10,000 in a quality tech company that's worth billions and will, IPO at some point for tens of billions. Why is it somehow not okay for a person to put 10,000 through Linqto in that company, and then they can go to Vegas and put 10,000 on black?
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was COO Joe Endoso of Linqto, along with CGO Susan Miller. They were on Newsmax talking about accredited investors and highlighting the bills that were introduced. There has been a couple of bills. Patrick McHenry, Tom Tillis, Warren Davidson, they've all introduced bills for the U.S. investor to have an equal opportunity to invest in private equity. I want you to keep your eye on Linqto because things are looking like they're going to change soon. Let me show you why. There are multiple bills ending or reforming the accredited investor rule. Right now, the accredited investor status, the bar is very, very high. And there was a bill that passed once in the House back in 2018, but it never got the vote in the Senate. As for oversight, Warren Davidson goes on to tweet, he is confident things will change with a GOP majority overseeing the Biden administration. And that GOP will probably take place in November. It's looking that way. In fact, we're going to hear from someone else in this video who is a Democrat who believes that that change to a majority of Republican rule will take place. So that is going to be very interesting. And some of the changes or the rules that might be modified would be an examination that a person could take to be certified instead of solely making this the decision based on wealth. So this is a very good thing, and I'm of course watching it carefully. Yes, you can look at pricing today. XRP is up 4%, Bitcoin up 6%. We've got Ethereum up 7%. Look at Algo at 8% up in the last 24 hours. Matic up 11%. Tezos up 12%. Just a lot of good, solid gains in the top 100. That's what you are looking at here. It's quite encouraging. And in talking about encouraging, I have a clip or two. Yeah, I think it's 2 clips here with Kathy Woods and Novogratz. They were together in the Bahamas at the SALT conference. And I'm not interested if you agree with them or disagree with them. I want you to just listen though to the statement that's made about the coming shift in political wind, because it's encouraging. Have a listen.
And I think really important is Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury. A year ago, I was asked, probably on CNBC, why she hated, why she was so down on crypto, the environmental, the illicit activity, and so forth. She had nothing positive to say. Boom, 1 year later, the president and I'm wondering, okay, someone's whispering in their ears.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not someone whispering. It's the crypto community yelling.
That's true. That's true.
There are 50 million owners of crypto in America, probably 25 million really passionate single issue voters. And so Democratic politicians had a wake up call. I mean, it's shocking. I'm a Democrat. Kathy's not. So we can be on both sides of the aisle. How many politicians are reaching out to Galaxy, to me, say, hey, can you educate us? They realize they need an opinion. Being anti-crypto is really bad politics.
This is a bipartisan issue. Yeah. That's what's so great about it. So what do you know about
it comes down to politics again. The political winds are shifting. Gary Gensler is a political animal, right? He is very smart. He's got his hand on the till. If he wants the ETF approved, he can do it tomorrow. And he's not dumb. You can sense the shift happening. And so he's going to have to. approve an ETF at one point, because the Democrats are going to lose in November. Sadly, they're probably going to get wiped out, and and you're going to see, his position be under a lot more pressure. And so my sense is he's going to move sooner, not later.
From the outside looking in, it doesn't look so good. More than a dozen staff attorneys have left the SEC, and the latest exit are 3 senior executives, including Christina Littman. She was the head of the crypto asset and cyber unit. And then there were 2 other from enforcement. The 3 of them made up nearly 50 years of experience. And so, Gensler has to be feeling the pressure. And I will tell you that based on his past history, he changes like the wind. He is a very skilled DC operator, and the house flipping will probably be a very good thing for crypto. And this is also coming from J.W. Verrett. He is a law professor and former SEC advisor. What he says in this next clip is extremely interesting. Have a listen.
The voices that are very negative on crypto, without any sort of reason or logic behind it, particularly Senator Warren, are not the future of the progressive approach to this. I just don't think so at all. They're just kind of stuck in 2008.
In terms of Chair Gensler, why do you think the political arena has such a large impact on his rulemaking?
Follow his history. So it's important to understand your opponent, understand the background of your opponent, and he is my opponent. I respect him. Sometimes I agree with some things he's pushed, so I probably disagree most of the time. But understand your opponent. So let's go back to the late 1990s. He's serving in the Clinton administration at the Treasury Department as the point person for financial regulation. In the Clinton administration's take, it's very much pro-Wall Street, which is great from the market perspective. I mean, it was very pro-Wall Street, but it was also pro-market because it had increased more competition between brokers against bankers, bankers against brokers, that kind of thing. Drives down fees. Right? So it's really good. But progressives blame it for the financial crisis. Well, that's a whole other discussion. We'll get into it. But realize this. In 2008, 2009, the Obama administration comes in and he wants to be CFTC chairman. Now he's Mr. Reform, right? Very different view than what he was 10 years before. And he was a very ardent reformer at CFTC, very much fighting Wall Street, totally different perspective. He's got a very sharp political antenna, which is why he's such a skilled DC operator. And this is why my prediction is next year, if the House flips, maybe the Senate flips. I don't, whether or not you're a Democrat or Republican in crypto, I'm with you because you're pro-crypto. That's kind of my view. So you might not like the House flipping from one party you like to another, but this divided government is going to be good for crypto because I think it's going to change Gary's approach to this.
Now, shifting gears just a little bit, we're going to jump to EFMA. Since 1971, this is an organization that has been leading banks and insurance companies around the world. It's made up of executives from Santander, BNP, Standard Chartered, DBS, and on June 3rd, they featured Jackie Lee. This is Tranglo's group CEO. He talks about payments, including on-demand liquidity. Let's check it out. Tranglo was created to address the cross-border challenges that make up global payments easier and accessible to the masses. Tranglo has 3 solutions. Let's look at this one in particular, which is called Tranglo Connect. It's a payout service for licensed remittance companies, payment gateways, and banks. Partners can take advantage of the integration with Ripple and increase their working capital by applying the Ripple's on-demand liquidity service. That's ODL. That uses the digital asset XRP. And this service eliminates pre-funding so that businesses have better cash flow and liquidity to scale their growth. Tranglo is an expert in cross-border payments, especially in Asia Pacific. Moving forward, they're expanding their services to Europe, North America, and the Gulf states. They're also building a shared network of payment connectors thanks to the partnership with Ripple. By integrating with their tech, you can see there, they are aiming to enhance the cross-border payment experience in Southeast Asia and beyond. They go on to say that we are also improving service delivery through system enhancements such as the use of blockchain and digital currency for settlement. That digital currency for settlement is XRP. And this allows them to better meet the business needs of their partners. This was an important article because of the audience that reads this. They are able to see that XRP, the digital asset, is really truly serving the needs of these banks and providing a solution that makes everybody more profitable. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Did you ever have people in your family that collected matchbook covers, particularly maybe your grandparents? That used to be the thing. You know, when you went to a fine hotel or a fine restaurant, you would then pick up a matchbook that would very often be sitting at the reception desk, right? And then you'd come home and display them somehow. Well, this was at least done in my grandmother's house. And I just have a lot of really good memories of being quite young and carefully inspecting all of the artwork and all of the places she had gone. Well, there was a little bit of news that came out of Japan today that made me feel a little sad. I'm okay with change. I really embrace change, but this change was, well, I had some mixed feelings. This is a matchbook company that has been in Japan for more than 40 years, and they've come to the end of the road. They are going to now end the production of their matchstick, this style that is just, part of history. And it was kind of interesting in reading what they have been doing over the last 40 years. Sweden, the United States, and Japan have been the biggest manufacturers of matchsticks. And it just seems like, well, I guess it's time for this particular product to retire. But I will miss the artwork, and I will miss the kind of the trail in which it can tell a story of where you've been. I think that was kind of cool. And now I want to take you to Cape Togenkyo. This is a very special place this time of year. We're in the middle of rainy season. Rainy season lasts for a few weeks, can last up to a month. It depends. It's, case by case basis every year. But what is really spectacular are the hydrangea right now in all colors. And this particular location is maybe arguably the best place to go because there are more than 2 million hydrangea that are on this seaside cliff that's just spectacular. So to get your bearings, you can see here is Tokyo. So it is quite far south below Shikoku Island. You get into the Kyushu area, and this is where it is located. I just want to show you how spectacular it is. These aren't blossoms. The color comes from the actual leaf that changes color. It's one of the things that I really look forward to in a season of rain. So let me show you a little bit of a video of this particular location. So if you're wondering if you can come to Japan or not, well, it's getting very, very close. They're letting some people in right now, but when you are able to come in without an organized tour, that has not taken place yet. And they did some projections in terms of percentage of what the odds are by July that you'll be able to come in and be unattended. That would be 30%. And by August, it jumps to 50%. By September, it is expected 85% chance that tourists are going to be coming in without any restrictions at all. And by October, the odds are 90%. So I think by November, it's going to be back to normal again. And I look forward to seeing as many of you that come as possible. So until then, yes, sayonara for now. Do take care. Bye-bye.